What up, it's Dane here. In this video I'm going to be telling you how to measure your body fat percentage accurately and quickly in as little as like 5 minutes, so let's get it. So some people will tell you measure it with your BMI, however you need to understand that BMI does not take into account your muscle mass. So for anyone that's doing weightlifting, BMI is out of the equation. And the second method is bioelectrical impedance. Now the problem with this is, and a lot of studies have shown this in a meta-analysis, is that the body fat is off by an error rate of about 5 to 10%, and that's massive. For example, let's say 12% body fat and I use BIA, bioelectrical impedance. It might be telling me I'm 18 to 20% body fat when in reality I'm about 12%, and vice versa, telling me I'm 6% body fat. And the third method is skin folds. Now skin folds have a lot of error as well, just like both the other methods. The reason being is because let's say someone presses harder the one time than the other. However, that being said, as you will see, I will tell you the practical implications at the end of the video, meaning what you should be using in order to track your body fat percentage. But for now, just keep this in mind. When you're relating skin folds to body fat percentage, there is also a large error rate. And if you are going to use skin folds, just make sure you take it at the same time of day. Now the fourth method is a Dexa Scan. Now you need to understand that not everyone can get a Dexa Scan. It is reasonably expensive, so this is why I left it to last. That being said as well, Dexa Scans can again have a massive error rate. Sometimes it says someone's like 6% body fat, and when in reality they're about, let's say, 89%. Again, there are a lot of error rates with Dexa Scans as well. Now the fifth method is hydrostatic weighing. Now this is probably the most reliable method, I guess we could say, out there. However, this is probably the most unreliable one, and by unreliable I mean not everyone can get this. There's only like special places where you can get it, so keep this in mind. However, it probably is the most accurate one. So that's hydrostatic weighing. Okay, so let me tell you about the practical implications, what you should be doing in order to measure your body fat, and this requires literally almost no equipment and not a lot of cost at all. So first of all, you should be using the mirror. And the mirror is real good. Use the same lighting. We all know what lighting angles and stuff like this can do, so use the same theme, we can call it. That's number one, the mirror. It's real important. Number two is your eyes, which links into the mirror. No, I'm just kidding. Number two is waist circumference. So this is real good. Obviously, if you're measuring your waist, it's going to tell you if you're losing body fat or if you're not, unless you're building like massive abs in 1 week, which never ever happens. So that's it. Waist circumference, number two. And number three is skin fold calipers. Now, like I said, I'll get to it at the end of the video, which I have done now. Now, when I talk about skin fold calipers, I'm not meaning to relating it to body fat percentage per se. I'm saying look at the measurements, and if, let's say for example, my measurement on, let's say, my bicep or something like that is going down over time, then I know I'm losing body fat. So don't relate it to body fat percentage, because that's when the error rate increases. Just relate it to the numbers. So to summarize, use the mirror, measure your waist circumference, and then use skin folds, but not according to body fat percentage. So there you go. And I've said the good old mirror. And one thing I have to mention as well, I would not advise use the weight scales at all, because not at all I do use them personally, but just generally just take it as a grain of salt basically. The reason being I say this is because especially for beginners and women, you can gain muscle real fast. This is for beginners, and lose fat as well. Now for women, on the other hand, their menstrual cycles, their water weight can just shoot up, and all of a sudden the weight on the scale is going up, but really they're losing body fat. So be aware of the weight scales, and of course if you're just starting a diet, the water weights are going to decrease fast, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, mirror, waist circumference, skin folds. As always, stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.